Greetings, kindred spirits, and welcome to 2020. Happy New Year. I'd just like to say thank you so much for those of you that have reached out to me over the new year. You know, it was actually quite emotional. So good to hear from you and, receive your messages of love and support. And, I just want to send it back to you in return. So we're coming up to the full moon lunar eclipse, a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Uranus goes direct tomorrow. Well, I'm recording this on the 8th actually. So Uranus goes direct on the 11th. So it will be the day after the full moon. God, I'm still in the new moon's energy. But of course, lunar eclipses do follow solar eclipses. So this will be quite significant because, the solar eclipse took place in 2019 and the lunar eclipse is taking place in 2020. So it's almost like a bridge. Anyway, let's start with the full moon. So the full moon will reach its peak in Gemini in the true lifetime sky on the 10th of January at 19:21 in the GMT time zone, at 14:21 in the EDT time zone, and on the 11th of January at 6:21 in the AEDT time zone. The lunar eclipse will be visible in the whole of Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, North America, and the western tip of South America. So the moon in Gemini, or this particular full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini, means that the media will be very busy over the next few weeks. So whatever came to light at the new moon will now go through a total transformation when it comes to what the details reveal. It could hold the element of surprise that changes our way of thinking. Gemini is quite a fast thinker and a fast talker. So it is important that we think before we speak. Or for some, it could be that some things are better left unsaid, especially if it is based on momentous thinking. This will be especially relevant on the home front, as Gemini is the true ruler of the 4th house of home and family in the true lifetime sky. As our full moon is also a lunar eclipse, the energies coming in will be quite heavy for some. This energy touches the deeper recesses of our soul and our subconscious mind, bringing up any issues around the shadow self. So issues around the shadow self could surface throughout this time. As it occurs in the sign of Gemini, it's important that we watch what we say and how we are saying it, because the words we use will have a powerful effect at this time, as will off-the-cuff emotional reactions. And this again is a time for a deep reflection. Our intuition and psychic senses will be very strong, as they were at the new moon solar eclipse. Although, the lunar eclipse can make them become more hypersensitive. And I would highly recommend a calming tonic like meditation, nature walks, flower essences, homeopathy, yoga, etc. So whatever is your thing, or maybe do all of them. Mercury's energy is very strong this full moon, but so is Saturn's. So breakdowns in communication is highly likely if we are not in a clear thinking space. Some of us may feel quite irritable at others' lack of self-discipline. However, the nervous energy being emitted is highly contagious, and many will not be able to think clearly. Actually, some of us went through this energy back in December. Especially those with a strong Ophiuchus, Aquarius or Aries placement in their 13 star sign chart. So for those with a strong Sagittarius placement, then wow, you have really been feeling out of sorts throughout 2019. And your usual optimistic nature has really been a struggle for you to maintain. The energies this full moon are very feminine and magnetic. So we will definitely feel drawn to her energy, although some may put up a resistance if they haven't already had their soul awakening. You know, the energies coming in will affect each and every one of us differently, depending on our own soul's growth and where we are at on our path. You know, so many of us choose the new year to move forward on various projects or new schedules. And in all honesty, for as long as I have been working with astrology, I haven't come across 1 year yet where the energies have been in harmony with new starts. Funnily, I've received a message from one of my young friends, goes by the name of Lunar Eclipse. You know, I sent him a New Year's greeting and he replied with thanks. But, you know, the Chinese New Year is really the New Year, you know, or the New Year beginning. And I guess the conventional New Year, well, in my opinion, really starts around the spring equinox. You know, the spring equinox, I feel up until the time of the spring equinox, it is a time for preparedness, a time to build up our stamina after awakening from the stillness of the winter months. So don't berate yourselves if you've broken that New Year's resolution already. So, you know, there will be a lot going on globally, especially around the subject of trade. You know, trade may become quite a topic over the next few months. And I guess for us here in the UK, with Brexit going on, etc., that's highly likely anyway. But of course, you know, it is a domino effect, so other countries will be affected by the Brexit too. You know, but on a deeper level, you know, and I have spoken about Ixion in previous podcasts. You know, Ixion is one of the Plutonians and has been transiting the galactic centre for just over a year now. You know, the last time Ixion was at the galactic centre was around the late 1700s. And similar events then are occurring today. You know, in the late 1700s, apart from various revolutions taking place around the world, the two that stand out the most to me is the French Revolution and the Boston Tea Party. You know, things today have certainly kicked off in France, and I have been aware for a little while now that China are in the process of building their new Silk Road. So I definitely feel that that is a space to watch, you know. So maybe that will become quite a topic or a theme over the next few months or over this next year. Also, Uranus goes direct the day after the full moon at 3 degrees in Aries. When Uranus retrogrades through Aries, it does tend to create a lot of chaos. And this has mostly affected us on an inner level, but through external events. You know, now he's about to hit his brakes, and this will create a sudden shift in energy. You know, Uranus's energy is very erratic and electric. And Aries is an energy of fast movement, and it's very active energy. So together with this exact Saturn-Pluto conjunction taking place between the 8th and the 12th of January, it will make this rare event play out a little bit quicker than it normally would, since both Saturn and Pluto are considered slow movers. You know, the good thing is that Uranus will be in harmonious aspects to the North and South nodes and to the Goddess Pallas. So it does suggest that the concept of truth will also be a theme, or further revelations of facts may emerge over the coming weeks. I think we also need to watch out for breakdowns of all kinds. They may be experienced too, but mostly when it comes to our relationships, either social, business, intimate, or global. Though this can play out in our environment with regards to external events that affect us personally. Throughout this time, the power of visualization will be high. And I would definitely expel any pent-up energy through meditation. For those of us that are adept at visualization, then focusing on mantras, yantras, or abstract art could prove very rewarding or enlightening throughout this time. Our visualization skills will be very high. But praying and meditating on world peace and healing would also be a perfect way to make use of this rare Saturn-Pluto conjunction, especially since they will also be in conjunction to our Sun, Mercury and the goddess Ceres. I have attached a fantastic meditation below for those that would like to participate. This conjunction is not about manifesting our personal desires, but to start this new era with the future of our planet and our youth in mind. And I would also recommend that it's done daily between the 18th, why am I saying the 18th? The 8th and the 13th of January. I've said so much about this Saturn-Pluto conjunction throughout 2019, and there is actually a Saturn-Pluto conjunction video on my playlist, so you're welcome to listen to that. But because the Sun is involved as well, and Uranus is going direct, I just feel there's going to be some light shone on any matters that are to do with Pluto and Saturn. And as I said in previous podcasts, the signs of this conjunction would have played out throughout 2019. So through 2019 we were seeing the signs in the build-up to this conjunction. And now the conjunction is taking place. It's now all about consequences. So now I feel throughout 2020 it's all going to be about seeing consequences played out. And, I still feel that the scientific community and the music or the artistic community, the energies are still very favourable for those. So I do feel, a lot of scientific information coming to light over the next year. And I feel artists are really going to fare well with their creativity. We can expect to see a time where more so than ever, partnerships fall apart, where one has outgrown the other, and where the tolerance to stay in that place becomes overbearing and overwhelming for those who feel inhibited and blocked in their situations. The only thing is, as with all things, the balance of polarity, the negative and the positive, is very relevant. So as the desire to be free will be strongly felt, so will the desire to hold on tight, regardless of the unhappiness it creates. So watch out for manipulative behaviour. So let's all keep it real. Peace and much love.